Razorback Talk. For the fans, by the fans. This is Inside the Hog Pen with your hosts, Razorback Zach and Marcus MC Carlton. What's up, everybody? My system decided to go crazy. Let me get this going here real quick.
Let me talk to you.
Oh, no! We suck again!
What's up, everybody? Razorback Zach hanging out with you tonight. Welcome to an all-new episode of Inside the Hog Pen from the Central Arkansas studios. From the NWA, we've got Sarah Swish Vogel at the bottom of your screen. And from the NEA, my buddy, my co-host, and let's face it, y'all, the glue that holds the whole damn thing together, Marcus MC Carlton, who, by the way, doubles as a Coach Z, I hear. What's up, y'all?
How's it going, man?
Just don't want to ask me that right now.
Let me set.
I don't know what to say because I know if I say "How are you," what his answer is going to be.
Well, I'm gonna do something right now that's gonna set the tone for the entire show.
That better be an ice cold Coke, because if it's an old cold beer, we're gonna have problems. I'm pissed.
We might need a little assistance to get through this, but at least through the football portion of the show.
I'm pissed, and I'll tell you why here in a minute. But before we do, leave us a review, like, share, follow, subscribe. We are now in podcast form, so if you can't catch the live event, you can't catch the live show, we're on podcast, full show. No interruptions, no editing. Unfortunately, MC is going to have to change that probably.
Yeah, I'm probably going to have to edit a little bit on this one tonight.
We are everywhere a podcast can be found. Apple, Spotify, you're working on
Amazon, iHeart, everywhere except Google. Google is being Danny-nosed right now and doesn't want to play nice.
Or it's never mind. Shut up, Zach. All right, so it's time for the bacon bits portion of the show, and here's the thing: I've battled with this all afternoon long, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna find a nice football one, and I was gonna try to find something nice.
He's got jokes right out the gate,
but I got diddly squat. I don't have first edit of the night. I don't have shit. I'm just, look, I told y'all the gloves are off. I've come unglued. I'm unhinged. So I've got 3 basketball bacon bits, and they're all centered around one fact. So here we go. 15 block shots over Gardner Webb is tied for 3rd in all-time Razorback history. They had 15 against South Alabama on December 30th, 1991. It is also the most by any collegiate team led by one Eric Musselman. And, MC, did you know this? It's the most in 28 years. Can anybody tell me the record?
I have no clue. And I kind of consider myself a Hawg basketball encyclopedia at times, but I have nothing on this one.
18 block shots against the Missouri Tigers. But what's significant about that is the team that did it, because it was on December the 5th, 1995.
Okay, so that would have been the team following
the national title.
Scotty, that bunch. This would have been Sunday Adebayo, Jesse Pate, Landis Williams, that crew. Yep.
Hey, if you guys want in on the action, leave us a question or comment in the Hog Wild live fan feedback, because like I said,
blowing up already, man.
I have come completely unhinged in on the show tonight, because holy crap. The best thing about that football game Saturday was the fact I got to hang out on the sideline.
No, okay, I can do you one better. The best thing about that football game,
I'm gonna put my poo-poo lip out.
Well, you're gonna agree with me. You're gonna agree with me when I throw this out there. Shout out our boy D-Mad.
Yes.
D-Mad.
Our boy D-Mad's getting hitched.
Yep. He got down on one knee in the middle of the game the other night. Highlight of the night. Of the entire game.
Yes.
D-Mad getting on one knee, and of course she said yes, or we wouldn't be bringing it up. So shout out D-Mad and the future Mrs. D-Mad.
I don't know, because I didn't hear her say yes in the video. We're gonna have to call. Where's my challenge flag at? We're gonna have to go to the replay booth on that one.
Yeah, it's like the commercial where you go to the
right?
replay booth.
Congratulations.
Have you noticed in all of those that the woman always wins in all those replays?
Again, we're not going to talk about that.
So,
not going to talk about that. But like I said, congratulations from all of us here at Inside the Hawg Pen to Dylan Madden and his now fiance, Ariana.
There we go.
I get chewed out every time I mispronounce her name. So there you go. All right, let's go leave Hog Wild live fan feedback before we hit our first break and jump headfirst into this puddle of shit. Chris Faraci says, "Let's go." Jenna Mays, hello, Jenna, hello. All right, Roy in the house, number one fans in the house. She's kicked cancer's ass twice. Casey Sutton says, "Hi everybody." What's up, Casey? Hey, Casey, where's your mother? Send her a text. She needs to be back hit. Jesse Randall Thurman says, "I've been waiting for this one, y'all." Oh, trust me. The break.
Oh, and I love the little picture in his Facebook profile. It's the AI generated Polar Express with the Razorback player standing on top of it.
You know what's funny about that is, as y'all were mentioning that, I heard a train in the background from one of y'all.
There's a train. It's from me because I live less than a mile from train tracks.
That was highly ironic. We did not plan that, by the way.
We did not plan that, but happy accidents.
That was funny because I went into Sam's the other day and there was just a Polar Express box sitting there, and I was like, "Oh gosh,
I'm never going to look at that. Anything related to that movie, I'm never going to look at that the same ever again."
No, I can't watch it anymore. Our boy Chris Shaw,
we're going international.
Says, "Word up from Poland." I'll explain why he's in Poland here after.
All right, hey, we're going international.
But hey, by the way, Dennis Gamble has an important announcement for everybody. He says, "Remember, if you or someone you know have been negatively affected by Arkansas Razorback football this season, you may be entitled to compensation. Lawyers who are currently placing bets at Oakland and Saracen casinos and are anxiously awaiting your call. So call now."
That's pretty good.
And like I tell you guys every show, make sure you consult your doctor to make sure your heart's healthy enough for Razorback sports. I'm telling you why.
So if you're losing so bad, you don't need the heart health.
You don't need it so bad. All right, coming up on the Polar Express, Inside the Hog Pen, we are going to jump headfirst into this crapshoot called football.
Oh, boy.
It's not going to be pretty, but somebody's got to do it. You're listening and watching to Inside the Hog Pen on the Sideline Radio Network. Back right after this. Welcome back to Inside the Hog Pen on the Sideline Radio Network. Razorback Zach, Sarah Swish, Vogel, and Marcus MC Carlton hanging out with you. Okay, let's just rip this freaking Band-Aid off now. And how in the world do you take Florida to overtime in the swamp, and then you let Auburn come in and just curb stomp you into oblivion on your home turf in front of a nearly capacity crowd? I should say.
I have never seen a team that has been less enthused to play in front of the home crowd ever. I've never. I mean, as bad as the John L. teams were, as bad as He Who Shall Not Be Named were, when they took the field, at least they had some pride and tried to put on for their home fans. But this bunch just, I don't know, man. I've
I
never seen
blame it
anything
on
like it.
Zach. I blame it on Zach being there.
I mean, you weren't there, so
And I haven't been to 3 games because work over football, getting
shut up, Sam.
paid
Not right
to
now.
watch them. I'm
Well,
good.
MC's not been to any of them except the
I've
first
been to road games.
one. Yeah, you're not allowed to go there. But seriously, y'all, I mean, you know, by the way, shout out to Katie because we hung out on the sideline pregame ceremonies and stuff at that game. And that was one of the best moments of that game.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm sure.
but you could tell, and for those that were there, you could tell that the energy level wasn't there. You could tell that the want to be there wasn't there. And it just 21-0 within the first like 5 minutes.
The whole energy in Fayetteville was weird. Like,
It really was.
I know that sounds weird, like people think it won't matter, but like normally on a game day, like I have to take back roads upon back roads to get to work. Like it's usually MLK backed up all the way past my house.
Mhm.
I drove to work peacefully, got Chick-fil-A in less than 15 minutes, and made it to work like an hour early. Like I left a whole hour early to get there on time, and I ended up being early.
The worst traffic was the Chick-fil-A line.
And see, that wasn't even bad. That wasn't even that bad. It was worse today, trying to get my free nuggies from basketball.
And it just I don't understand because here's the thing is y'all played like the team we wanted to see at Florida. And then you come home and MC, you called this.
Yeah.
That they're gonna come home and lay an egg, but how do you do it in front of a home crowd?
I don't know. I mean, what? Well, think about it. There has not been a good performance at home all year.
No.
You know what the best home game in quotes performance was? Western Carolina.
Yeah. And even then,
we can debate all night whether that was even a home game.
That's a show in and of its own.
But
it's called a neutral site game. I wish they wouldn't call it a home game, but anyway.
Here's the other thing, and I'm going to break my cardinal rule, and this is where little children under the age of 18, we'll go 21, turn this off right now.
Okay,
Just
bye.
turn it off. I was like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. You're above that threshold, so
I am not calling him Rocket Sanders anymore. I am calling him Quitter Sanders because that's exactly what he did in the middle of that game on Saturday when he got hurt. If you guys go back and watch, it wasn't even a hard hit. And you can't say, well, it was his leg injury. It was his nagging leg injury. No, it wasn't because Pitt just said a couple weeks ago he's 100% magically healthy again. Like nothing's wrong with him.
Have we got the injury report for this week yet? Is he on knee management again?
No.
That probably Pitt had his weekly game preview press conference today.
Did he
but
know
I haven't
it was
seen
today,
anything come
or
out of it.
did he know something?
I didn't see one today. Like I didn't see.
No, there was. 'Cause I've got a very specific quote I want to pull up in a minute.
I'm in a report, like an
Oh, a
injury.
report. My bad.
It hasn't been.
I knew there was a press conference, but not an injury thingy.
Did you guys know? I did some research and I had MC back me up on this. Did you guys know that since Bobby left, we are 56-79 since the Bobby Petrino era ended?
That crash just ruined everything.
I mean, I have a very close friend of mine that basically told me the program football died on the day of the wreck.
Well, and I mean,
and I have a hard time proving him wrong, honestly.
Oh shoot, I'm frozen again.
Here's the thing, and here's the reason why I won't call him Rocket anymore, because when he walked over to the sideline, I was there. I saw this.
Yeah.
This is irrefutable evidence because I saw it with my own 2 eyes. The kid walked over to the bench, stood there, and then put his helmet up. Didn't put it down, didn't put it on the bench, put it in the equipment box, and did not want and refused to go back in until like middle of the third quarter for like 1 or 2 plays. That was it.
I'm going to be honest. I haven't thought he was good all year. Like I might not know football, but
no, you're pretty spot on because
he has not been the same as he was
last year,
2 years ago,
or 2 years.
I didn't even think last year he wasn't even
Last year was pretty decent. He ended up over 1,000 yards last
He
year.
was decent last year.
Maybe it was just me being too critical, but
But
this year he seems to, which I think it's the weight he gained, because while everybody's like, oh, it's good for him, I don't think it is good for him. Certain players shouldn't gain weight because it changed the whole dynamic of the way you run, walk, pass, everything.
He's too heavy. He's playing about 15, 20 pounds too heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's I am not a personal trainer or anything of any kind. I'm only going off what I'm seeing with my own eyes.
When your most valuable player of the entire game is once again your field goal kicker, something's wrong. Oh, and by the way, while we're on the freaking subject, let's talk about Max Johnson, shall we?
Max Johnson.
Or Max Fletcher.
Max Fletcher. Okay.
I can't even get his name right. He's pissed me off so bad. This kid in pre-warm-ups was kicking bombs.
But he gets scared anytime during the game, and he kicked a 20-yarder, didn't he? Because I didn't even watch
it. It wasn't even a 20-yarder. It was 10. It was a net yardage of 10.
And this is why we run off Reed Bauer.
I'm real deal gonna try out next year, guys, for the kicking team to be a punter. Y'all think I'm joking?
Look,
I can be living hell out of the football.
I'm damn near 40 years old, and I can kick further than that.
Oh, I mean, I can kick further than Max on a good day.
Oh, y'all be careful. Y'all gonna cause a mental health crisis here.
I don't really care. Homie needs to go back to Australia or wherever he's from.
I'm gonna say it very clearly. I do not care.
Sorry, whoever's watching that, I pissed off when I said that, but
I do not care. Okay.
It's just. Let me back up.
In the NFL, honestly.
Let me back up to Sanders.
No one else on the team is good.
All right.
I want to back up to Sanders for a minute, because this is going to tie into something we're going to talk about a little later. I don't know this for sure, but I assume somewhere along the line Sanders is getting some NIL money. Is this money guaranteed? Does he get this if he decides to get mad and go over and sit down on the bench and put his helmet up in the cabinet? Does he still get his NIL?
From what I understand about NIL is once they give you that check, they give you the money. That's it.
Once the deal's made, it does not matter.
Once the deal's made, it doesn't matter.
They technically are not allowed to base it off of wins, points, performance. It is supposed to be solely based on your face, your image. Yeah.
So, okay. All right.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get into that here in a minute, because I know where you're headed with it. I know where you're going with it. Jesse Randall Thurman says, I want to hear y'all's take on Pittman's future. I feel like mainstream Hawg media is trying to sell the fans on keeping him, but I don't see how we can recover from this with his leadership. I'm thankful for what he's done before this year, but this year is painful. Here's the thing. I'm going to take a page out of mainstream media book, and I'm going to say, look, Pitt's still got a job. There's not a job opening up that's available yet, okay?
Right.
He's still employed, okay? So anybody and everybody can sit there and say, well, what if we go get this, or what if we go get this guy? Yeah, you can dream all you want, and we'll sit here and talk about it. But realistically, we can do a whole series of shows on who the next head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks could be.
The problem is the media that pushed it the day after the game saying he got fired. So now everybody thinks he's fired. People don't realize he still has a job. My own grandma, who, if she's watching this, I'm sorry. She texted me today asking if Pittman's still the coach.
It wasn't because the media
people want to report. They want to be first. Please fact check whoever y'all are reading. Or text me, honestly. I'll tell you what's going on the Hill, because apparently these people don't even know.
It was a wannabe Twitter famous person. We all know very well.
There was 3 or 4 news articles written.
There were.
It was wasn't just them. I will say this. The product that was on the field, 100% was a fireable offense.
Absolutely.
And for him to come into the post-game press conference and go, well, I don't know what happened. We had a good week at practice. And I don't know what happened. We got embarrassed.
Conductors of trains aren't very smart, apparently.
I gotta go on a tangent for a minute, because first off, somebody who's making $6.5 million a year, when he comes to the post-game press conference or his weekly press conference, the first thing out of his mouth should never, ever, ever be, I don't know. Okay? I'm not saying you can't. There's ways around that. And there's smart enough PR people in that communications department to pull him off to the side and say, look, maybe instead of saying you don't know, I understand. I appreciate the honesty, okay? But at the same time, you have to think about your image, not only among your fans, but among potential recruits and honestly, the people who might be paying your buyout. You have to think about your image. You can't say, I don't know. You can say, yeah, we made the wrong call there. We made the wrong call. Probably should have done this instead. But to sit there and say, I don't know, when you're losing loss after loss after loss after loss, that takes people like the three of us and just pisses us off that much more. Okay, I'm stepping down from the soapbox now.
Look, guys, here's the thing. If y'all know me, I sat through the Morris years. I sat through Bielema's final year, which is the year we launched the podcast. I've seen some pretty ugly games in regards to Razorback football. Never left a single one of them until Saturday. When I was more entertaining in the stands and on the walk back to the car than the game itself, there's a problem.
Yeah,
it's been like that all season. Sorry, you just made it to a game.
Well, I was there for
just being honest.
I was there for Kent State.
Oh well, after that,
I was there for Kent State
because it's been fun. But I have more fun in the stands and at tailgating than I have at football this year.
I finally looked.
That's also the environment. Everything is doggy doo doo.
Look, we're gonna do a bonus pod on the fan experience because that's a whole in another.
Yeah, because I have something good to compare it to now. And now
the fact that you have that to compare it to,
yeah,
it's sickening.
And the fact that I have to give credit to a place that I just I mean, I would rather eat my own hand than to give them credit for something. But I have to give them credit because their game day atmosphere is tenfold over ours.
Well, and the thing about it is when you look at it, Barry Odom was probably being leaned on a little bit more than all of us realized.
Yeah, and you know what? That may be why the defense kind of suffered under him, because he was having to babysit head coaching decisions so much that he couldn't focus in and have the defense do, basically focus on his job. He was having to do somebody else's job. And if you look at what he's done over at UNLV, I mean, I think we're kind of onto something here. I'm starring a couple of these comments, Zach, because I want to come back to them.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You're good. Here's the thing is why, and again, most people are asking why Pittman still has a job.
They're trying to let
me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Let me pull this quote up. We're doing some pre-show research, and this broke right about 5:30.
Oh, yeah.
Rick Schaefer said that Hunter Yurachek polled the boosters on Sam's buyout, and only 1 to 2 were willing to contribute. He also said Tyson would write the check. Here's the kicker. Only if Malzahn was the hire. So there you go. The people with money don't care about winning. They care about getting their way. First off,
why would he go public with that?
That's the thing. The piece of this that doesn't make sense. Rick Schaefer, also known as Sunshine Rick. Okay.
Is he in that room?
Rick's pretty connected. He's been affiliated with the university since before I was born.
Yeah. He was SID under Frank.
But the piece of that statement that makes no sense to me is that anybody who's ever kept up with Rick Schaefer over the course of his career, dude has always been the eternal optimist. Okay.
Well, I mean, can't listen to Drive Time Sports anymore.
I mean, it's so bad that he got the nickname Sunshine Rick because he pumped sunshine when we were down 49-0 in a game. So the fact that he's the one that this quote is attributed to has me scratching my head.
Jenna says he's the guy with the bowl cut, right?
Yes. That is him. Now, I will say the dude is a walking encyclopedia. He can tell you anything about any game from when Frank Broyles coached all the way up through today. I mean,
but I want to know if he was actually in the room, or if
No.
he's just, or if he just knew there was a meeting and now is because the whole Tyson and Gus thing kind of threw me off.
Well,
Like, I
but
would have
that's
believed it if they would have stopped it there.
the thing is though, is that's not the first place I've heard that. If it's the only time I've heard it, I would never have said it on air. But this is like the third or fourth time I've heard Tyson and Gus's name in the same sentence. Okay, now here's my next question. Have we not learned our lesson of bringing back former coaches through what we just went through with Dan Enos? Why in the hell do we want to bring Gus Malzahn back? What is the infatuation? How many? Don't say that, Zach.
So let me look. The guy doesn't want the job.
No, he played.
He doesn't want it
for more money to Auburn twice. And you really think he's going to come back here if we try it a third time? Come on, y'all.
I think you could offer him part ownership in Walmart, JB Hunt, and Tyson, and he's still not going to take the job because he doesn't want the job.
No, he didn't want the job when he was here. He didn't want the head coaching job when he was here. So I don't understand everybody's infatuation. Gus Malzahn. He's not. Look. I put it out on Twitter. I'm going to say it here too. Okay? Y'all need to wake the. Ooh, there went the F-bomb.
Frick up.
Y'all need to wake up. Okay? Bobby Petrino not coming back. He can't come back because of the way he was fired and why. Thank you, Jeff Long. Deion Sanders, you missed out on that bus. And do you really want
a guy? We can't afford him.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Do you really want a guy? Do you really want a guy that's got the same record as we do right now?
Well, okay, but hang on. He did take over a team that went 1-11 last year. So you got to remember, he's in
his game day atmosphere.
So his record in his first year is the same as Pittman's in year 4. So I mean, it's not exactly an apples to apples comparison.
No, but at the same time, you're not going to get Deion Sanders.
No, you missed your shot there.
You missed the boat on that one, and you damn sure not going to get Gus Malzahn. All right, get over it.
Well,
get over it.
I think it's I don't really think why would the boosters want somebody who doesn't want to? Like, I don't get why they would only sign the check if he came back when he doesn't want to come back. Like
because the Tyson guy is best friends with Gus Malzahn. They lined this out on the radio earlier today here in Central Arkansas.
But if he doesn't want to come back, why?
That's
what I'm saying.
That's the $1 million question.
Well, it sounds like very similar situation to what happened when Bielema was fired. You throw that bait out there, you put it out there. It's like, he might be interested. He'd be willing to listen. What do you got? What do you got to offer? And then you pull everything you have. The offer that was made to Malzahn in 2017 was the largest offer ever made to a head coaching candidate at Arkansas. And it was like the number that I heard in multiple different places was like $7.5 million a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Arkansas has never offered anything that big. Now, you fast forward from 2017 to 2023, it doesn't sound as enticing now because Sam's making 6.5. So, now account for inflation, all of that. But at the time in 2017, Arkansas offering $7.5 million was unheard of.
I just need our boosters to donate $160 million so that we can buy out our coach and get a new one.
Wasn't that crazy?
Did.
Well, but here's the thing: you don't have the money for the $16 million buyout.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, you've got money for the Bud Walton. I mean, they're hurting for money just for the Bud Walton.
That's all donors. That's all donors. And I bet the Hunts end up paying for the whole dang thing, and it's going to be called the Hunt Center.
Well,
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So
I love them. Don't get me wrong. That's what I'm expecting, even though nobody wants the renovations.
Hey, somebody step up. I don't care who it is. We'll call it whatever we got to call it as long as somebody steps up.
It gets even worse because now the fans are jumping ship. Permanent. They're jumping. You see it all over social media. Tickets are dirt cheap. Diamond Club tickets are $30.
I'm sitting second row for free.
Diamond Club, like the big money seats are $30.
That's the high roller seats.
Not to mention, okay, Sam Pittman. Y'all got to remember this. Sam Pittman cannot publicly come out with two games left and go, yeah, I'm done. Okay, I'm not getting fired. He can't publicly come out and say that. Okay, this whole cockamamie BS that he called every recruit and said, "I'm not getting fired." Recruits are jumping ship. So let me ask this question: is it because they know Pitt's not going to be here next year, or is it because they don't want any part?
Will be here.
Or is it because of Pitt, or is it because they don't want any part of whatever trash is on the field right now?
Both.
I think it's a little bit of both, because you could go either way with that. Okay, let's say Pittman is 1,000% going to be here next year. That's going to turn some recruits off because they can look at this and see that this is not going to be turned around in 1 year. On the other hand, if Pittman's gone, okay, there's some question there because you don't want to commit to a program and not know who your coach is going to be. So at this point, and this is where the early signing day will work against Arkansas, because let's say something happens, Pittman ends up resigning, walking away, getting fired, whatever. He's not here for 2024. Chances are it's going to come after that early signing day in December, I think is when it is.
It's in a couple of weeks.
So all of your competition is going to sign their recruit. They're going to push their recruits to sign in that early signing period, because it's become the early signing period has become the important one. The one in February that was always, the end all be all, the first Wednesday in February. It's an afterthought now.
Yeah, it's all about the early signing period now.
Yeah, I gotta throw this comment up from Sam. Go ahead.
Also see that I bet some people saw the way Rocket's attitude was, KJ's attitude was, some of the other players' attitudes were. I saw it on a little tiny iPad behind the front desk at my job. Yeah. So those recruits that were there / watching it on TV probably saw that same crap.
Sam said he jumped ship on football and hopped on the Polar Express.
I got another one from Sam here I want to put up. It's going to cover Sarah up for just a second, so I'll put it up and take it down and then read it. All right, so this comment from Sam Jones says, at the end of the day, none of the fans are saying keep Pittman. None of the fans that are saying keep Pittman can articulate a valid reason other than he loves Arkansas and is a good man. You can't retain a liability just because you feel sorry for him. Watching Pittman coach against his peers is like watching a puppy get hit by a car. Spot on, Sam, as usual. And to go on top of that, did y'all see Hugh Freeze's comment after the game?
That he could have ran the score up?
That they could have put up a lot more points than they did, but they started trying to run clock.
Here's the thing.
To me, that is worse than running up the score and putting the points on the board, because you are so shitty that your opponent is showing you mercy.
Yeah.
That's like several years ago when Les Miles was still at LSU and he kneeled on it 4 times inside the 10-yard line against Ole Miss because they were beating Ole Miss so bad.
We have 2 coaches that are like this, where we have the good boys. They love Arkansas. Can we just get rid of both of them now?
We have 2 of them?
Neighbors, honey. You should have known this.
I knew exactly where she was going.
I was being sarcastic because I knew she.
But I mean, this, watching a puppy get hit by a car is pretty much it. Because if you think back, okay, 2020, 2021, people didn't know tendencies. They didn't know how Sam was going to approach things. As more and more film became available on his coaching tendencies, what he tried to do, what Arkansas did in certain situations, if you notice, the losses started piling up. I think we've won 3 conference games total since the Texas A&M game of 2022 of last, the game, the KJ Superman game.
First started carrying.
Yeah, I mean,
now I can blame Sarah.
So, and here's another thing.
Me off, because that was the first time we did the Superman with Rocket and he turned it over. Then we did the same crap against Ole Miss and KJ did it and he turned it over too.
Well, and here's the thing.
Supermans don't work.
You also know that this team has lost any and all confidence in this coaching staff because they tried to go for it on a 4th down and couldn't decide if they were going to do it from the center, from under center, or shotgun, under center, shotgun, under center, shotgun, under center, shotgun, under center, shotgun. Literally, KJ kept backing up.
Your O-line sucks so bad you can't go under center. That's when you know it's horrible.
But the thing is they were trying to draw these guys off sides and it wasn't working. Instead, it made it look like The offense didn't know what they were doing.
We probably didn't.
Because KJ kept backing up in the shotgun. And then he'd run up under center. And he'd back up under shotgun. And it was like 3 or 4 times where they finally just said, screw it, we got to call a timeout.
Yeah.
I'm
Brad
so mad.
Staten
Go ahead.
jumping in and saying, I'm not sure Sam has quote-unquote coaching tendencies other than not being good right now. I mean, that's a fair statement.
I know you guys have come to love my show that I don't dump on players and stuff, but
there's an exception to every rule. And we're to the point now where there is more than enough blame to go around. And honestly, my feeling is if players are getting paid, NIL, whatever, they're open to criticism. I'm not going to go personal attack and say,
no.
He's ugly and he hates puppies, but I am going to criticize the on the field or on the court product. I mean, that's just the way it is. You can't have it both ways. You can't say, oh, he's just an amateur kid, but then he's making more money in one season than I'm probably going to make over the course of 10 years. Yeah. Can't do that.
I do wish there was a certain extent, though, because there is some people that go a little too ham. Even Max Fletcher. Like, I've always been rude to him. But, like, people literally were, like, tagging his mom, his dad, his brother in these tweets and everything. Like, it's ridiculous.
There's a line.
We're tagging them directly in your tweets.
There's a line.
I'm going to say Rocket Sanders sucks. I'm not going to say, hey, at Rocket, you suck. Pull up. Like,
yeah.
There's a line you don't cross, and that's it. No. And that's what's wrong with people on social media. All right.
Well, I mean, you remember what Mike Tyson said about social media. It's made everybody way too comfortable with running that mouth without getting popped in it.
Jenna mentioned KJ's free car.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Which he's already wrecked, by the way.
I'm not surprised.
Oh man. I got one more comment I got to throw in here because if I don't say this now, I'm going to forget it. But I have a theory on Sam Pittman, and Eric Jernigan's comment here goes right. It's like perfect segue into my theory. So Eric says Pitt was the right man for the job when they hired him. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. He turned things around, get rid of the locker room cancer. Now it's time to move on. So here's my theory. Eric, great comment. I agree. Here's my theory on Pitt. Pitt should have walked away, rode off into the sunset or whatever after the Outback Bowl. Okay, let's think about this.
Yes, 100%.
Comes in first year 3-7, but he has enthusiasm around the program. Year 2, you go out, you win several games you probably have no business winning. You go 9-4. Along the way, you beat a traditional powerhouse blue blood in Penn State in your bowl game. Okay? A lot of equity built up in the program at that point. Arkansas is 9-4. Sam comes in a couple days after, let's say he comes in a few days after the Outback Bowl and says, you know what? I think it's time to go to Hot Springs and live on the lake. Dude retires a freaking Razorback legend that his legacy lives forever because he would have been the dude that rebuilt the program. He brought it back from the ashes like a damn phoenix.
Yep.
And built it back into a respectable program. 9-4, you beat Penn State. He walks away. So at this point, you've got the program on solid footing, and some of these coaching candidates that were out there are now looking at this job like, maybe that's not a bad job. If this dude who had zero head coaching experience can come in and turn this thing around in 2 years, well, crap, I've been in the game for 20 years as a head coach. What can I do? What can I do there?
Yeah,
but instead of walking away a legend, he decides, okay, I need a raise. And so he goes to, what everybody calls the biggest slime ball agent in the game. I just say the dude is good at his job in Jimmy Sexton. So he goes and he hires Jimmy Sexton, gets the new contract, and everything has been in a kamikaze nosedive since that point.
And he shit the bed the minute he hired. But no, I mean, that's a good thing. But here's the thing. And we're not going to spend the whole show dumping on the football team because there is some hope on the horizon in the form of the MUSS BUS.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to talk to the fans for a second because I'm seeing a lot of people that are saying you can't criticize the team. Can't, don't be so negative. And then there are the ones who say if you don't go to games, you don't donate, you don't attend, you're not an alumni, you're not this, that you can't say shit about the team. Guess what? I can go to games maybe once or twice a year if I'm lucky. But every chance I get, I'm watching the Razorback program. Like right now, here in the Hawg Pen here in Central Arkansas, I got the volleyball game on. Don't know shit about volleyball, but it's on TV. And I'm learning.
You really don't know, guys. He don't know nothing.
No, I don't. I'm not even going to pretend to try.
Hey, he knows that he knows nothing, so that's something. So
that's a
there
plus.
you go.
But my point is, okay, if you are a fan, win, lose, or draw, you have every right to criticize this team. If you wear the logo on your shirt, on your hat, on your
even
pants,
if you're not a fan, people should be able to talk about it. We suck.
Yeah.
Even in basketball the other day, the Old Dominion people were like, "Man, can y'all rebound?" And I was like, "I guess not." Like, it shouldn't matter. We're watching it. We see it happening. Maybe it'll change.
This whole cockamamie bullshit of you can't criticize the team. You can't say this if you don't spend $5,000. Yeah. Shut up.
Well, and my thing is the people, the section of those fans that say, just support the team. Don't be so critical. Just support the team. No, you know what that is? That's people who have never competed for anything a day in their life. They don't understand how competition works. They don't understand setting a bar and trying to meet those expectations. Because with expectations, if you don't meet expectations, guess what happens? You get criticized. If you don't meet expectations in your job, Sarah, what's going to happen?
I'm going to get fired.
Exactly.
I can count on one hand. I can count on one hand how many times my boss, who happens to watch this show that I found out, has called me up, and she's never yelled at me, but she has told me point blank, pull your head out of your ass. Keep your head down, keep your mouth shut. That's all she's got to say to me. But if you support the Razorbacks, you have every right to criticize this team.
And it's not about supporting them financially. If you invest your time on a Saturday to give up 3.5 hours of your Saturday after working all week, and you're going to sit there and watch this game, you're invested. You have a right to your opinion to criticize. Now, I'm not saying go out and tag people's mamas and tag them and cross the line.
That's exactly
People
what I
with
was
good
getting
sense know where the line is, okay? You criticize what happens on the field, but I don't know. Everybody is just so, I don't even know the word for it, but everybody just wants to win so bad that we're all just starting to eat each other.
Here's what you don't have a right. You don't have a right to jump on social media, tag the players, tag the families, okay? Tag their aunts, uncles.
That's dumb.
Why?
I mean,
that you don't have you don't do that, okay? Number one, you're making the rest of the fan base look bad. Number two, it's immature, it's stupid, and I guarantee you're not going to say this shit to their face.
Yeah.
So just shut up, sit down. Go ahead, Sarah. I'm sorry.
You're turning recruits and their parents away because they see that. I've talked with recruits' families about it. Shoot, I've talked to Devo's mama about it. Like, she sees the stuff y'all say about her kid.
We don't allow Devo slander in here, okay?
Oh, and if I see it on Twitter from now on, like somebody commented on my post earlier and I took everything in me not to go off.
So I'm not even going to put the game information up because let me tell you something. I'm not going to watch it, but here's the thing. I'm not going to watch the last two games.
Nobody cares.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I was talking to DMAD earlier, MC, and I said I'm not going to watch, but I kind of want to because it's kind of like watching a train wreck. You don't want to look. You want to look away. You don't want to watch it, but you're like, gee, I got to see what happens. I don't want to look at this. It's
become an episode of Jerry Springer. Like, you want to watch it just because you want to see how bad and how far out there it's going to get.
So I have a couple of notes here for the next two games. And you can tell that the university now is grasping at straws to get people in the stands. What in the name of blue hell is member appreciation?
LOL, a train wreck.
What is member? What? What is that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so Razorback Foundation member appreciation night.
If you're a
I-
Razorback Foundation member, though, MC, don't you get? Let's see if Sarah can get back in here. Don't you get
It just kicked me out.
appreciation posts? Or like, don't you get appreciation perks?
There's some perks that you get depending on how big of a member you are. So
They're just getting what they paid for. It ain't nothing special.
Jesse Randall Thurman says, I bet no one can name one fan who hasn't spent money on tickets or merch. That's investment in the team, and everyone who's put their money out there has that right to respectfully criticize the program.
spot on.
And the congregation said amen.
Amen.
There you go.
I will say I haven't spent on tickets this year.
You're a
I don't even
Fourth
want to
of a
go
different-
there.
yeah.
I have spent more on tickets this year than possibly ever than I ever have on tickets.
I got since last year I had so many points, I got a free student pass this year
That's awesome.
or whatever, a discounted one. So that's all I've done, which basically is the price of someone's one ticket. Oh, he disappeared.
Yeah, we're just. I mean, I guess the
Or did I
trolls are
disappear?
watching us. They're watching us criticize everything tonight, and they're not very appreciative of it because they keep messing with everybody's internet. So, I mean, now you've got this member appreciation thing coming up Saturday, and then I'm sure Zach was headed here, but I'm going to go ahead and jump on this too. Have you seen what Missouri fans are talking about doing for the Black Friday game?
Striping us out, and I hope
they're
going
gonna
to
stripe out the stadium.
That
I
would
mean,
be hilarious.
that is
Zach has entered the transfer portal.
Sam Jones coming in strong says Zach just had enough and he entered the transfer portal. Oh, he's back. He stepped out of the portal.
Did you miss me?
He only came back because we're about to talk about basketball.
Yeah. Sam,
No.
Sam Jones said that you entered the transfer portal. So.
No, but here's the thing. And the phone call I just got made a very good point. It was D-Mad. He made a very good point. Why was the hog pin, Sarah, this is right up your alley. Why was the hog pin created at Baum Walker? For the
Because of
people?
crazy fans?
No, because it was for the people that couldn't afford to be donors.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And even now it's too expensive for most regular people to get in there half the time because you have to donate and do all that. They're already sold out, I think.
Yeah, it's not a general admission thing anymore. Okay. So
It's a wait your butt on the sidewalk for 3 day kind of thing.
yeah. Now, last point as we wrap up football talk, because I'm hot, but I know y'all are chomping at the bit to talk basketball. So did y'all see the thing that Missouri's trying to do?
We were just talking about
while
it.
you were in the portal, that's where we went.
I was dipping my foot in the portal to see if I can get some some better NIL money.
Somebody needs to.
What in the name? What does Missouri?
I hope they do it. I hope they do it. I hope they pull it off. If I end up going, I will wear black just to help them out.
Here's the thing, and I was just fixing to say it. I hope they do it. I really do.
Y'all, I mean, as much
making
as
us-
I want to see change, I'm sorry, I can't go along with that. My biggest rival in high school was black and gold. I hate anything and everything that is black and gold. I would rather sit and eat a pile of manure than to wear black and gold. Okay?
I just feel
I
like
can't
maybe
do
it'll
it.
be an eye opener. Which one, I hope it's an eye opener for Sam Pittman. 2, I hope it's an eye opener for Hunter. 3, I hope it's an eye opener for these people who are scalping these dang tickets. Because if you sell your tickets, rant for a second. If you sell your tickets for over face value, especially 10 times face value,
Yeah,
you can just. I don't
We're,
want to say stop
I got
watching, but
I
we
got
ain't
something.
fans of you.
I got something for that in the hog hoops. Now here's the thing. Here's why I say that I hope they pull it off. Number one, I'd love to see that many Missouri fans in one stadium at one time.
Oh God.
I'm not trying to do it. I'm not trying to do it in spite of Razorback Nation. I just want to see that many Missouri fans
Y'all-
actually show up to a game.
How bad is Missouri gonna beat us?
You don't want me to answer that.
I mean,
Do you remember Alabama last year?
will they put 80 on the board? Because you
70.
know, if Drinkowitz can put 80 on the board, he's
It'll
gonna
be
do
Alabama.
It'll be 70 to whatever, dude. I just
that's just not going to be fun
but
at all.
We have final point is so now what?
The Wi-Fi.
It's a big turd sandwich, and we all got to take a bite. That's what.
Jenna's looking for a decent price Duke ticket. I got one for I got a pair. Wait. I got a pair for $2,000.
Yeah.
Did y'all see?
I saw that. Yeah.
We're saving that one for Hawg Hoops.
Yeah.
We're saving that one for Hawg Hoops. All right, I gotta get some air and calm myself down. These two are gonna talk hoops. I'm gonna go to school. You're watching and listening to Inside the Hog Pen. MC School of Hawg Hoops coming up right after the break. All right, welcome back to Inside the Hog Pen on the Sideline Radio Network. Whoo! Everybody take a collective deep breath.
Deep breath. We're about to think happy thoughts for a while.
We've crawled out of the puddle of shit. Okay? And into the promised land we go.
Oh, kinda. Thank God for hoops. That's all I got.
Kinda. Now, I'm going to pose a question to you two, and I'm going to let you guys take off with it, and I'll jump in when I got a question or something. We saw the fast start against Purdue. We saw the fast start against UT Tyler. But are the slow, sloppy starts starting to creep in a little bit, or is that just me?
A little bit. Yeah. I think there's a little bit to that. I think after this last one and how tight that game ended up being, the Old Dominion game, and Muss's post-game comments where he gave out grades of double F, triple F, and so bad that he couldn't even give it a grade. I look for a fast start. What is it? Friday night.
Him.
Oh, okay. Prime example. You take Muss's post-game press conference where he's handing out the double F, the triple F, and then he did hand out like an A+.
He said Gardner 3. It was so bad there ain't even a grade for it.
Compare that to what we get in post-game at football.
I don't know what happened.
Shazam. We had a great week of practice. I mean, you can't even compare the two. You can't even compare it. But slow start.
I think it was just a Monday night, and I'm going to chalk it up to that, and it ain't going to happen again. And I will say, y'all are hating on Old Dominion, or like people in the comments last week on Twitter were talking about, Old Dominion's Old Dominion. We're going to blow them out. Old Dominion is a damn good team because they got John Morant on there, and he was balling out.
That dude is like great value John Morant. I mean, he looked just like him. I mean, he was making some of the same moves. I mean, it was. Did you see the Twitter comments where people were talking about that MUSS will be contacting him about the portal as soon as
Oh, they were talking after the game, and I wanted to take a picture so bad.
Wasn't Old Dominion the worst shooting 3-point team in the country, and they came in light
coming into that game? Yes.
Everybody does. Why does everybody shoot good in Bud? Every single team shoots good in Bud, but us.
Well, but I mean, it it wasn't all bad. I mean, Kai Mitchell had a double-double.
That's one of the best games
He
I've
should
seen
have been
Kai
a
Mitchell
block.
play.
He should make those shots.
Yeah.
And no, he did not play good. He got freaking lucky. That guy pisses me off.
I thought he played pretty
So
solid.
weak.
Whoa, wait, hold up. Timeout. Back to gravy train on biscuit wheels up a second. Why?
He does this lazy one-handed catch. That's why we had a steal one time, because he's just like slowly bringing it in. He won't go to the ball, catch a pass. He has to catch it with one hand. And then when he's under the block, he dribbles. That man needs to stop dribbling and put it in the hole.
Okay, hang on here. Hang on.
Yes, we only had 4 turnovers, but still. The last 2 games, he's been acting weak. And that man needs to buff
I will
up.
say
Don't
the
push him
previous
around
game.
in the lane.
Was it Gardner Webb, the previous one before Old Dominion? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Gardner Webb, he was trash. 17 minutes, 1 out of 2 from the field, 3 out of 4 from the free throw line. Rebounds, he had 5 total rebounds. As big as he is, he ought to have 5 rebounds in his sleep. Okay, I'll give you that. But the Old Dominion game, I thought he played a pretty solid game. Maybe it was just because he was so terrible in the previous game. But he was 6 out of 7 from the field, 3 out of 5 from free throw line, 10 total rebounds. Let me see. 1 block. My screen is not giving me everything. 1 block, and I think he had 14, 15 points, something like that. 15.
Yeah,
Which
15.
I do say, like, he did better, but if he would buff up and play like a big time, like if he played like Hunter Dickinson, not saying Hunter Dickinson is the best post player, just watched Kansas last night, so I'm just bringing the name up. If he would play tough like he does in the lane, we would be a national championship team. Right now, I'm watching Elite 8 Final 4. If Kai buffs up and plays like a dang post and can play and block shots like Trevin Brazil, if you shove those 2 together, national championship team.
Oh, hot take.
I don't disagree.
But keep
I will
them separate,
say,
but also shove them together. Like I need Brazil, but then I need Makai, but with Brazil's toughness, shot blocking.
Speaking of Brazil, the good doctor was in the house again off that little touch pass from Devo. I mean,
after just blocking a 3, I was standing up from that, and then he did that. And
3.
We lost
the 3, runs the floor. And let's give Devo some love on that pass, because that was not an easy touch pass to make, because he had dude all over him. I mean, he was covered up and just tapped it off to the side.
So, funny story is during warmups, they always do this like touch pass star drill kind of thing. And I always think it's so stupid because the guys look so out of it. And I said that in warmups to the guy next to me, who I don't know this guy. They were his seats. He'd just flown in or whatever, that were next to me. I don't ever sit in my seat. I don't sit in the student section. I just find someone else's seat. Anyway, was talking to him and I said that, and he was like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Like, we're talking about it. And when Devo did that, he looked at me and he said, that drill must have paid off, huh? And I was like, never sitting here again. Never sitting here again.
I mean, that was just, I mean, it's one of those things, like, I can remember, and I'm going to show my age here, but I remember, like, it used to be every time Rodney Clark would touch the ball, people would be like, shoot the 3, shoot the 3, shoot the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Now, every time Brazil starts driving to the hole, everybody's like, oh my God, he's going to dunk it. He's going to dunk it. I mean, he is more hype around him pre-dunk than Michael Qualls used to have. And I thought Qualls was probably the best dunker we'd ever had. But Brazil, when he puts the ball on the floor and he goes to the hole, you're waiting on that poster. I mean, you can feel it coming before it happens.
Well, and you know, once they get rolling, they take off. But that Old Dominion team that came in here Monday night, that was a nail biter.
Listen, Old Dominion and James Madison are in the same conference. They're both in the Sun Belt. That will be I don't know when those two play, but that'll be the game of the year in the Sun Belt. There's no way around it.
Old Dominion is which I was I'm not going to lie. I think I might have sent it to y'all. I was really pissed off because there was an article written by SI talking about that this was going to be the lost preseason, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, man, they don't even, they have one guy over 6'9". One guy over 6'9". And I'm like, ain't no way we're losing to them. And then I got to the game and I was like, they might have been right.
Well, and the thing you have to watch when you're playing these lesser opponents like this, like Old Dominion, like Gardner Webb, It's just like NCAA tournament, in the early rounds. If you don't squash the bug early and you let them stick around and gain confidence, they're going to start playing over their head. When they start playing over their head, anything can happen. I mean, we've seen it countless times. Hello, Purdue, Fairleigh Dickinson. I mean, that's exactly what happened in that game. They let them hang around.
They played up to their competition. We played down.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. So Jesse Randall Thurman has a little nugget for us here, and it says, due to previous scheduling agreement, Old Dominion and James Madison play 3 times this year in the regular season. Okay, I may have to sign up for ESPN Plus just to watch those 3 games.
I'll send you my log on.
3 times.
3 times. Yeah. When those 2 teams come over here to Jonesboro, I may have to slide out to the arena and watch that game.
With
Sam Jones says Sarah.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Free ticket. Sam Jones says Sarah's spot on. I said to a friend this morning that something needs to be changed architecturally about BWA. Something about that arena beyond defense makes it very accommodating to opposing shooters. It's been that way since it opened.
Yeah.
I don't know. Even when I was in high school and like doing camps in there, I looked like D1 material out there because I hit everything. But then, I go to my home court and I don't be shooting like that. Like, I don't know. There's something in there. It's the lighting. I blame it up. Like the lighting, there's not a single place in the gym where the lights hit you directly in the eyes. Whereas like at Springdale, there was one place, if you shot from the floor, the lights were in your eyes through the basket. And I hate that. Bud Walton ain't like that.
Well, and I got to give a jockstrap to the SEC network because whoever controlled their camera during that game.
Oh my God.
Was the camera guy drunk or something? What the hell?
Okay, hang on. That's not the camera guy. That's the director. That's the director. That's the guy sitting there deciding which button he's going to hit for which cammah. I mean, okay, I get the idea.
Setting the bus or something, right, during the game.
Oh, they had cutaways of the other coach of ODU. It's okay.
I wish y'all could have watched him. He was so annoying. No, well, not the main coach, the one at the end of the bench.
Yeah,
I wanted to strangle him.
So, okay, everybody knows my background. I spent 20 plus years, whatever, doing television production for sports. Rule number 1, when you have a close game late in the game, you don't cut away. When they go to a shot of a coach or the crowd or the band or whatever, that's called a cutaway shot. You don't cut away in a close game. Nobody cares.
Never.
Nobody cares.
I know that.
You do that crap during free throws and timeouts and dead balls. You don't do it when it's a 6-point game.
We didn't even care during the blowout.
I mean, yeah. You can get you're
also,
not.
I'm going to address
blowout,
this
but you can
just
get by
because it's
with
up here.
It's just ugh.
We actually, MUSS in the post game said we sucked at guarding the 3, but there was 2 or 3 shots where we were there.
Yeah,
like we were standing.
They couldn't miss.
We're there, and they still made it.
Well, and that goes back to what I said. You let them hit the shots early. They build confidence. They start playing over their head. And when they start playing over their head, crazy things happen. I've seen it too many times.
Score update. Looks like first set is complete. 25-21. Ole Miss takes set 1.
That's not cool.
At Oxford.
Did we lose to them last time?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
First time losing since September, losing set 1 since November 1st at Georgia.
Boo.
MC, you've got the stats.
More for a reason.
You've got the stats up from last game still, right?
Yeah, I've got the individual or the full game, either one.
The team stat. I think free throws and turnovers were probably at some of the lowest they've been in quite a while. I think free throws for Old Dominion. I mean, that was like what 4 or 5 shots from the.
Let me see
we had
here.
4 turnovers.
Free throws.
4 turnovers.
Yeah, 4 turnovers and 5 fouls total.
Yes, 4 turnovers as a team, which MUSS said he's never had a team have that few of a turnovers during an entire game. Old Dominion from the free throw line.
Shooting fouls, though.
Yeah, shooting fouls, not just general fouls. Shooting fouls.
Because we fouled a lot.
They only shot 5 free throws on the night. They hit 4 of them. Yeah. Compare that to Arkansas. Arkansas shot 29, only hit 18. That's got to get better because if you don't make free throws,
I did not realize it was that bad. Because one thing if someone in here is watching that has control of this, the ribbon in Bud Walton doesn't show the free throw percentage anymore. Is it because we suck, or like, can we get that back up there, please?
Probably have to put an ad there, and they just don't have room for it now.
Well, there's field goal, 3-point, rebound, and assist. I don't care about assists. Drop that. I want personal assists. I don't care about team assists. Drop that.
3-pointers on the game. Arkansas was 8 of 19, which is 42%, which is acceptable.
Which is pretty good.
That's pretty good. Take 42% all day, every day from 3-point range. Old Dominion, 11 of 24 for 46%. That's smoking the nets. Okay. I mean, that's right at 50%.
I will say one thing I love about this team is like the last 2 games, it's been like kind of like a battle show. Like he's been scoring. This game, it felt like other people were scoring. Like I feel like every night it's a new like.
That is a perfect segue because I wanted to talk about L. Ellis. Okay. L. Ellis, the transfer from Louisville, point guard, running the show. I've been very pleased with how he's played so far.
I love him.
When Battle got in foul trouble and Brazil got in foul trouble and Devo got in foul trouble and whoever else, it was like L. Ellis said, okay, now it's my turn. And dude missed a triple-double by 2 assists. He had 70 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. 0 turnovers.
What I like is if we get into a late game situation, if you want to try to, like, you know, let's say they're double team in Battle.
Yeah.
L. Ellis will go get you a bucket. You want to double team L. Ellis, you got Battle Devo for a bucket. Yeah. You want to double team all them, you got Brazil for a bucket. Like, this team.
Am I 2 games behind when Pittman got shoved and then Kai Mitchell shoved it? Was that 2 games?
Yeah, that was Gardner Webb.
That was Gardner Webb.
That was great.
Because Pittman had just come off a great baseline cut. He had a backdoor cut, got the pass, dunked. And, I mean, it was...
That guy tried to knock him, like, he
the
was
little
really
Israeli guy. That's who it was.
I was going to fly on the floor.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about, like, he was down when Penny was trying to land. The guy was, like, looking back like he was going to go back under him. And I was already up in the like, everybody was like, chill. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
By the way, notice? Somebody said, speaking of your boy Pittman, Jesse Randall Thurman says Pittman finally got his dunk on Gardner Webb.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one we're talking about, that beautiful backdoor cut that he had. That's beautiful basketball. But I love the fact that Mekhi Mitchell had his back. I love that. You got to find a little better way to do it and be a little sneakier about it. But the fact that he had his back like that, I mean, hey, I love that.
He said he didn't even mean to do it. That's what's wild. After the game, he was like, I honestly didn't even mean to shove him like that.
Because it was instinct. It was like, get off.
Yeah, it was instinct. I mean, it was. I think I sent literally. I think I sent y'all this during the game the other night, but the little Israeli dude the one we're talking about that tried to hit, or that did hit Pittman, to me, he looked like Post Malone without the face tats. He had that look. Go back and look at the game, and when they take close up to this dude while he's shooting free throws, tell me he doesn't look like Post Malone without all the face ink.
He did.
True. Hey, let me ask you guys this. I got a bunch of questions this past week in regards to the rankings that came out. Tell me why we have not moved in the rankings, but yet Arizona
we dropped 2.
It's November.
But
it's November.
Arizona beat Duke, and they're now number 5.
Yeah. Well, okay, so
they were already in the top 10. So
yeah.
we beat Purdue, but yet last year when we got
that Purdue game doesn't count.
But neither did the Texas game last year, and we still got our butts handed to us about it. Remember, we dropped in the rankings pretty significantly after.
That's because you let Texas fans get in your head. We didn't drop in rankings because of the Texas game. The Texas game had no effect on that.
So that ties in.
Brazil was hurt.
Ties in directly with a comment from Baxter Meeks, my boy Baxter. Says we are 3-0. We beat Purdue in what was called an exhibition game, but we can't get any love on the national scene. What do we have to do to get a little more respect? Okay, so
not be Arkansas.
Well,
sorry.
Hey, MC, real quick. We're being summoned. Mama Linda's finally made it into the house. I apologize, Mama Linda, for not getting to you sooner. But she is in the house. For those of you that don't know, that is Casey's mom. But we call her Mama Linda around the whole pen.
So let me finish my thought on the national respect thing, and then I will answer Mama Linda's question, because I think she's talking about what happened to our guarding against the 3. We used to be number 1 not long ago. Hold that thought, Mama Linda. I'll get to you in just a second. What I want to say about this. Okay, first off, it's November. I honestly don't even think you should have a basketball poll until January, because you have the holiday tournaments over Thanksgiving. You have some more holiday tournaments around Christmas.
You have injuries coming. You have people
injuries
coming in on transfers.
Yes.
I think, is it Kentucky still has 2 people? They have 2 injuries and then a guy sitting out from a transfer still.
I believe so. And they should have beat Kansas last night, but they gave it away, which was fun to watch because I hate Kentucky. But I can sum this up. Just keep winning. Just keep winning. It'll take care of itself. That's all you got to do.
We're also Arkansas. We're not a blue blood. It's going to take more than. Hush! I don't want to hear it. We're not a blue blood, according to the national scene. We can claim we're a blue blood all we want, but in the national scene, we're not a blue blood. We've sucked for 20 years. Close to it. Whatever.
I can't argue that.
Well, way to bring this conversation to a grinding freaking halt.
Well, I'm just being honest. We're not going to get the love that Kansas is going to get. We're not going to get the love that Kentucky's going to get even.
Right. No matter how many times in a row.
Swing backwards, throw their pants off, and get on national TV. And we could win a game by 100 points and still not get on there.
And it doesn't matter how many times we beat Kentucky. They're still going to get more national pub than we're going to get. So it is what it is.
That's all about
until we get into the Final Four.
Yeah. When MUSS hits Final Four, you're going to see things change. You're going to see all these talking heads start putting Arkansas a little higher up the pecking order. But I was talking to a friend of mine about this last night. So, okay, hold up. Let me answer Mama Linda's question. What happened to our guarding the 3? I don't know, because this is the subject that MUSS was talking about in the postgame, that he couldn't even give it a grade because it was so terrible. So Sarah has an answer.
As someone who was there,
yes,
I'm going to answer it as they look scared as poop. They literally did, because once Battle was in foul trouble and Brazil were in foul trouble, they looked scared to play defense. Because Mark was also in foul trouble.
Yes, Draymond Mark missed almost the entire first half.
He looked scared. They all looked scared to play.
It didn't help.
And that's where they need to learn. MUSS isn't gonna. I don't want to say let you foul out, but MUSS isn't gonna let it hurt the team.
Well, it didn't help. It didn't help the refs. It didn't help the refs were touchy on the whistle too.
Oh
man,
God.
it was a ref show there for a while, man. I mean, it really was.
Yeah.
But I genuinely think that is why the defensive 3 was so bad, because of that. But also, they were just throwing up everything in God's green earth.
Yeah.
I love Mama Linda. Calipari's. I'll say it for you, Mama Linda. Calipari is a jackass.
Yeah.
But he's a damn good coach.
MC,
but he's a damn good coach.
MC, tell me about this next game coming up. We got UNC Greensboro on the 17th at 7 p.m.
That's
Network Plus.
That's another one of these games that my gripe with this game is that it's on a Friday night during high school football playoff season.
No. You want to make it worse? Okay. FHS has a playoff game at FHS. Soccer has the second round of the NCAA tournament at Arkansas, and we have a football game or a basketball game all at the same time. Ask me where I'm supposed to park.
Yeah, that's
please.
A good question. You may have to park down at Baum and like hitchhike your way up Razorback Road.
I might as well park at home then. I live Baum's right there.
You may just want to walk over,
I think someone's picking me up from work.
So Casey wants to know, could this be the year we go all the way?
There's more potential this year. I mean, this is MUSS's deepest team, his team with the most potential to make Final Four. So,
all right. So I'm going to ask.
I'm not going to jinx it, but I will say that.
I'm going to caveat off that for a second.
Okay.
And I'm just going to appease the naysayers. All right. You probably know where I'm headed.
Don't say it. Don't be a football fan.
No. Just for argument's sake.
Okay.
If he can't get over the Elite Eight hump, how many times? Like, I'm good. Look, lock MUSS down. Lock him down in my book. But
Yeah.
as the investigative journalist that I am, not. If he can't get over the Elite Eight hump, how long are the fans going to be okay with just getting to the Elite Eight and not,
A while
longer?
We haven't been to the Sweet 16 in 20 years.
Yeah.
The fans need to shut their mouths for a little bit.
We went last year and the year before and the year
Well,
before.
I think she's talking about until
I'm saying
MUSS.
Before MUSS. I'm saying
Yeah.
prior to MUSS.
We
We hadn't been to the Sweet 16 since.
Before MUSS, we couldn't sniff the second round of the tournament.
Before
I don't
MUSS,
think we've been there since before I was born.
But okay, so I'm about to clear that up for you. Before MUSS got here, and that first year that he took a team all the way to the Elite Eight, we had not been to the Sweet 16 since I was a junior in high school. Okay, I'm 45 years old now. I'm 45 years old. Do the math. That's almost 30 years.
Math is hard. I
So
think it's
before
the
I was
first.
born.
I think
What year were you born?
99.
Yes, 95.
95.
I'm sorry, 96. 96, because we
Yeah.
lost to John Calipari, of all people, and his UMass team that had Marcus Camby.
Yep. That's
That
what I
was
thought. I thought it
Prior
was
to
that year.
MUSS, that
So-
was our last trip to the Sweet 16.
Baxter
Yep.
Meeks asks a very good question. He says, and I was going to ask this as well. He says, what part of the schedule will be our 0-3 stretch? It usually happens at the start of SEC play. If you
It doesn't matter if we're 3-0 in March.
Well,
That's a
but
fair point. That's a fair point.
fair point.
Okay, so I'm pulling up the start of the SEC schedule, and I mean, right out of the gate, the first conference game, Saturday, January 6th, Auburn coming to Bud Walton Arena.
I'll be in
I'll be
Orlando,
there.
Florida on that day.
I'll be there.
January
Running marathon.
10th. Watch this game. This next game on Wednesday, January 10th, is a sneaky game, and it's one that you're going to have to watch closely. We go to Georgia. Now, Georgia is not hyped at all, but for
They're
some
good, though.
reason, we tend to struggle at, I think it's Stedman Coleman Coliseum. I think Stedman Coliseum.
Coleman
name of
Coliseum.
We tend to struggle there. We go to Florida after that. Now, at Florida, you know how many times we have won at Florida since 1995? One time. And that was year before last.
Mhm.
Yep.
So
There and Bama always give us the worst troubles.
yeah, I think early January, I think Wednesday, January 10th, the 13th, and then it may just be 2 games because you play a very tough Texas A&M team on January 16th, but it's at Bud Walton Arena. So your chances are much better to win that one.
Dan
But
Yoakum's
watch those
coming
2
in.
games, the January 10th, January 13th on the road.
Dan Yoakum's coming in with a very good point. Because this is our year, 64, 94, 2024. Do the math.
Well, and I'll go a step further because in 94, our path to the Final Four went through Dallas in the Sweet 16 Elite 8. The way the brackets fall, there is a possibility that Sweet 16 and Elite 8 could once again be in Dallas.
Hell.
So I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to get too far in front because I'm telling you, we've got tough games. We've got this tournament in the Bahamas coming up over Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I was just
I'm
fixing to
so
talk
ready.
about that.
Oh, that's going to be
So ready to get fat and watch basketball.
yes.
So
And not have to care about football anymore.
for those
I'll
of you,
be like the fat bastard character in the Austin Powers movie. I'll be sitting there with a turkey leg right in front of the TV, just
See, I don't like turkey, but if it was a ham leg, if that's a thing, like a
a ham bone, maybe.
yeah, that's me. I'm not a turkey girl. It's too dry for me. I like my stuff nice and wet.
you gotta cook it right. If you cook it right, it's not dry. If you cook it right, it's not
Never-
dry. But for those of you that are brand new to our show, and for those that are regular listeners will know this. With the holidays coming up, we kind of changed our schedule up a little bit. There will be no Inside the Hog Pen next Wednesday. There may be one on Friday, but there will not be one on Wednesday.
Well, and there's 2 reasons for that. One being the
We played
holiday.
you next week. Never mind.
2, the second reason we won't have a show on the 22nd is because we play Stanford in the Battle for Atlantis at 6:30.
Yep.
We won't
So-
have a show the next Wednesday either. We're gonna have to change that. That's
Yes,
Duke
we
night.
will.
Sorry, y'all are gonna have to figure, or I just won't be here. Figure something else out.
That's fine. Hey, you could do a live look inside of Bud
Yeah.
Walton if your internet holds.
Oh, my internet's always fine in Bud Walton. It's probably better at Bud Walton than it is in this
Well,
apartment.
So Zach and I kind of been throwing around the idea of doing a pregame show for
Mhm.
the Duke game.
I'll be in line starting at like 9 a.m. So
Well, and it is a special pregame show for the Duke game. So we are planning on doing a show that week, but there is no
I will tell all the people in the comments, if you're in Fayetteville, I was trying to think of the equivalent. Okay. Pigs have legs.
Ham is the back leg of the pig, says Jesse. You see now the tide has turned. Now that we've added Sarah, I'm not always the target.
Well, I was going to tell y'all about how to get free chicken nuggets, but never mind.
Hey, Jenna wants you to know that pigs have legs.
I was trying to say the pig equivalent to a turkey leg, but it wasn't coming out right. But if you're in Northwest Arkansas, it might work in the River Valley too. Try it. But during the game, even if you're not at the game, it works. You can open the Chick-fil-A app, go to your rewards, turn on your location, and win 8 free chicken nuggets if we score 75 points.
There you go.
Over here.
I wonder if it works.
I don't know. It worked. My brother wasn't even at the game, but he lives off Dixon Street. And so I told him to open the app, and it worked. And he got his free 8 chicken nuggets.
Y'all are being mean. Y'all are being mean.
Oh, man.
Mama says that MUSS is tired of only going Elite 8. I think he's ready to take this team further, and we have the talent. Go Hawg. I agree. But you got to get through Battle for Atlantis next week. And here are the brackets. Here's the way the bracket's set up. Bracket 1 is Arkansas, Stanford, Memphis, and Michigan. Now, MC and I know a certain Memphis fan that we're going to try to get on at some point within the next 2 weeks. It may not be the next 2 weeks.
Is it the one that I think it is?
No. You have not met this one. You'll like this one though. You'll like this one. We'll call him out by name.
I was really worried. I was really worried.
We're bringing the bum back.
The bum. And bracket number 2, you have Northern Iowa, North Carolina, Texas Tech, and Nova. MC, of those teams outside of Arkansas, which one would you pick to be the team to watch?
Carolina's always good. Villanova is going to be decent. I did watch Memphis and Missouri the other night, and I watched Memphis just put a absolute destruction on Missouri in the second half of that game the other night. I mean, they went into that arena, and man, it was as quiet as a funeral home in that second half because Memphis was just doing whatever they wanted to do. You always have to watch out for Carolina. That said, I mean, I really want to see. I don't know much about Stanford. I think Arkansas should be able to handle that game. I want to beat Stanford, and then I want Memphis to beat Michigan because I want to renew the rivalry between Memphis and Arkansas on Thanksgiving Day with me sitting there with my turkey leg just waiting on that game to start.
Was that really a rivalry back in the day?
100% rivalry. Yes.
I want North Carolina and Nova to win their first game so then they can play, and then we play the winner of that game once we beat Memphis's A-double.
Yes. Once we whoop that trick on Memphis.
And I hope that song plays in the locker room like they normally do.
Mama Linda, we will make that happen. I will talk to MC and we will make that happen.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We will definitely make that happen. Then 2 weeks from tonight, you have the Duke game, which arguably to date is the biggest game in recent Razorback history.
And the highest priced tickets.
Let me tell you something.
If you're scalping tickets and you're in these comments, knock it off.
Let me tell you something. If you're on these third-party sites, like Sarah said, and you're trying to sell these tickets, and you're asking $2,000 for them, you can take those tickets, shine them up real nice, and shove them up your ass because that is dumber than dirt.
Well, and technically, scalping's still illegal. Nothing's enforced on it.
But see, the thing is, I read this somewhere. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. It's apparently not scalping because they're adding in their donations.
Bull. It's still
Technically,
scalping.
how much they paid for the price.
Bull. Hang on a second. Katie dropped a comment in here earlier about.
She said it was illegal. Yeah, she said selling tickets for more than face value is illegal. But when there's no face value tickets, how it like you? There's not a thing called. There's no face value
That's your
right now because
loophole.
there's no
That's your
single game
loophole.
tickets.
That's the loophole.
So that's how they're doing it. They're using their
But still,
donation as part of this ticket price.
$2,000. Come on now.
For 2 seats, it's $1,000 per seat.
Yeah,
Hey, and if it's in the lower bowl, you ain't getting it under 4.
I'm still gonna watch from my couch.
I mean,
Oh,
look,
Jenna said the way people are getting around it is they're using StubHub, which isn't based in Arkansas.
Yeah.
I mean, there's loopholes for everything.
There's your loophole, but still, I mean,
just it's like my dad used to tell me: just because you can doesn't mean that you should.
Dwight Raleigh, what's up, y'all? What's up, Dwight?
Hey, Dwight, welcome in.
And then, of course, Mama Linda showing all the love tonight. I hope ITHP lasts forever. Hey, it'll go.
I appreciate that.
It'll go as long as MC and I and Sarah all keep having fun. So
an extra 20 years after Zach dies, we'll still be going.
I had it at 40, but okay, we'll go 20. Okay.
I'm only 20 years younger than you. I'm not 40 years younger.
Well, okay, so
20.
I mean, MC's going to retire first, then it's going to be me, and then you're going to be carrying on the legacy. So I mean, you got to keep it going.
Hey, I'm
it's
like
okay. I'll put y'all in the nursing home up here with the rest of my Hawg Pin family. So when we take the bus to the baseball games, y'all can just hop a ride in.
Well, hey, if we're in the nursing home, then we'll be shoe-ins for the weekly coaches show for football because that we'll
That's
put
where they're all at.
We'll put the tennis balls on the bottom of our walkers and get in there and we'll do our part.
Or the Polar Express. Dwight Wiley is not trying to be disrespectful, but who's the new girl? Sarah, introduce yourself.
I'm Sarah. I'm a college
Sarah
kid.
Swish.
That hates.
Sarah Swish.
Yeah, Sarah Swish. Because I know basketball. I'm not a football person.
Yeah.
I know baseball a little bit too. Like one of the baseball players came into my job today and apparently spent a bunch of money, and we about to have a talk.
So
because he didn't buy it for me.
Sarah's bringing her insight and insight from the Hill because she is a student at the university. So there you go, Dwight. All right. So in closing, let me throw this up here one more time. In closing, let me remove this banner here. No show next week, but check out the podcast on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, whatever the purple one is.
The purple one is the Apple podcast. So we got, so we're going to start with the iHeart, and then the purple one's Apple, and then Spotify, and then Amazon Music are the 4 that are on there. And I'm still trying to get Google to play nice, but they just don't want to play nice right now. So
let's go back over here to the Hawg Live fan feedback.
Did you see what Jenna said?
And I was just fixing to go. So Brad said Sarah and her ham leg, and then Dwight. Let's see, we got that one. Jenna says, "Was it Daddy?" Go ahead and tell that story.
Yeah, you can't leave people hanging there.
Well, that's how that was my first episode with y'all.
That was your very first
Daddy episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's a baseball player called Kendall Diggs. 2 seasons ago now, he hit a walk-off against Ole Miss and took his shirt off as he was running across home plate. And I made a tweet calling him Daddy Diggs. It kind of just stuck, and now we call him Daddy. So during baseball season, if you hear someone yelling Daddy from the Hawg Pen at a very screechy voice, it's probably me.
She is still trying to get MC to hold the D.
He's got one of y'all's going to come and hold the D. Someone's got to.
I don't think so.
I got to hold the double D's.
Dwight Raleigh says, "I don't have anything positive on football."
Dwight, that's okay, buddy. We don't either.
If you listened or watched the first hour of the show, you know we don't have anything either.
No.
David Haslett says it's
the only thing positive is it's almost over.
Right.
Yes.
It's cheaper for me to see the Hogs in Texas than it is for me to drive to Fayetteville. I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Brad Staten says,
Especially when they're in the Final Four.
Right. I say we take away the Swish nickname and go with ham leg or chicken leg for Sarah.
Oh,
He's never gonna. I'm gonna post a picture on the Inside the Hog Pin Twitter of me eating a ham leg on.
There you go. There you go.
Loki says she knows her stuff and is 100,000% legit. And then you're getting love now, Sarah. Sarah's the bomb. And then Mama Linda's got a question for us, MC. She says, "How do you feel about Barry Lunny Jr. coming in as ROC?"
Ooh, that's a good question.
I saw it earlier, Mama, and I apologize. Things got
Wow.
out of control
So
here.
quickly, I'll do this quickly because I know we're trying to wrap up. We could do a lot worse. I'll put it that way. We have done a lot worse this year. We did a lot worse.
A lot worse.
The list goes on and on and on. David Haslett says, "Katie is one of my favorites." And then Casey says, "Can I tag along with Mom to be on the show?" Absolutely.
Sure. Why not?
All right. Final thoughts. We'll go around the room here. Sarah, final thoughts before we wrap up tonight.
Football's over. Yeah. Thanksgiving's next week. You got a basketball-filled week, and if you miss one of those games, I'll just catch you up next week.
There you go. There.
Yeah.
Well played, Sarah. Well played. That was as pretty as a backdoor cut in basketball. Final thought for me. Hey, feast week coming up, Thanksgiving. You got a lot of good basketball. I mean, if you want to punish yourself and watch football, have at it. I would not recommend it. I would recommend saving all your energy and your time and putting it into the battle for Atlantis, because that is going to be some really, really good basketball.
It's a really good lineup.
Yeah. What you got, Zach?
Well, make sure you guys take care of yourselves. But more importantly, consult your doctor to make sure that your heart is healthy enough for Razorback athletics. And number two, if you or someone you know,
especially if we lose by you.
Exactly. Now, very important fact, and I want everybody to remember this. If you or someone you know has been negatively affected by Razorback football, you may be entitled to compensation. Lawyers who are currently placing their bets at Oaklawn and Saracen casinos are awaiting your call. Call now. No, in all seriousness, y'all, thank you guys so much as we enter the holiday season. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. It has been an absolute blast, and I have said this from the preseason show until now. This is without a doubt the most fun I have ever had on this show, and these two make it that much better. I don't know about Sarah, but no, I'm just kidding. These two, they make it that much better. And next week, y'all be safe if y'all are traveling. It gets crazy out there, crazy drivers. I was nearly hit by a car yesterday in the parking lot, just walking.
Don't drive. Do not drive in Fayetteville.
Yeah.
Do not drive in Fayetteville till all these students go home for the holidays. Please. They suck. They're so bad.
In the words of my NCO when I was in the military, I have two safety briefs for you. One, do not add to or take from the population, and don't cook bacon naked. With that, for Marcus MC Carlton, Sarah Swish Vogel, I'm Razorback Zach. You have been watching and listening to an all-new episode of Inside the Hog Pen. Until the Duke game in 2 weeks, happy Thanksgiving, and so long, everybody. My computer has decided it's going to...